Harmonies are magical. Love those harmonies.
Oh, thank you.
Come up with.
Thanks, man.
Such an important thing.
That's our deal, dude.
I know. I was going to say that it's such a signature part to the Alice in Chains sound. In the '90s, was the Seattle music scene really as close knit as it appears to be? Because it seems like, as we look back, and all these artists knew everybody else.
Sure. I mean, I think you would find that in any town that's got a lot of creative people.
I think Seattle seemed a little bit closer than most.
Yeah, I mean, we were an outpost, we're up in the very corner up there, you know what I mean? So we're not necessarily known for like the, center of the universe as far as it comes to the music business or entertainment. So although we've had some great artists come out of the Northwest, but I think that probably helped us kind of develop, and kind of do our own thing, kind of touched by anything else. And before anybody even paid any attention to it, it was already kicking ass, So,
sure.
And it was cool to be a part of because it was all your friends and everybody was basically the same age within a couple of years, and everybody had their own band, and it was great, man.
It was a magical time.
It was really cool.
And then there seemed to be a lot of people that tried to jump on that bandwagon. Was that annoying?
I mean, I think that happens a bit with anything that kind of comes out and is new. It's always if it makes an impact and somebody wants to emulate it, that's cool. I mean, that's how I started. Right. So that'll by emulating stuff I liked until I found my own voice, and so I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Which is this is such a stock question, but I was talking to Mike McCready once, and he was professing his love for Ace Frehley as one of his greatest influences.
Yeah, well,
we all loved him.
So I'm really curious.
Fans right here.
I'm really curious as to what you were influenced by growing up, because I hear a lot of blues in what you do. Just curious as to what were the influences to Jerry Cantrell.
Oh, I mean, both my parents were country music fans, so I grew up on classic country, and my grandmother watched the Lawrence Welk show every week, and so that was always on the TV. But there was always music in the house. Everybody played an instrument. My mother and my aunt, they both played organ, and so they'd always be playing tunes and stuff. You just walk in, and my mom would be rocking out, playing tunes, by herself. She'd do that all the time, or with my aunt, or I'd sing with her, and watching Hee Haw with my dad, and Lawrence Welk with my grandma, and anytime the Grammys or any sort of music show was on, that was always on the TV, and it was a big deal. Music was important in our household, and I think my mom always kind of had that dream to be a professional musician too, and I finally got to realize that. So, but that's all part of that. But all of the stuff, like AM radio at the time. I mean, listening to Jim Croce and Gordon Lightfoot and the Beatles and all of that stuff, and and then I discovered rock. The Elton John, I think, was the first kind of rock and roll thing that I gravitated to, and my buddies were all into Elton too, and then I made the big jump with Kiss and AC/DC when then like guitar oriented stuff, So and that's really where it's okay. I'm going to do that.
Right.
I want to do that. I want to play guitar, and all the classic English metal, Sabbath, Zeppelin,
the natural progression.
Yeah, Scorps, all that stuff. Pink Floyd. We had Aerosmith, Ted Nugent. You name it.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you just played with Ann Wilson at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, doing Chris Cornell, Soundgarden songs.
Yeah, well, that's for all of the artists that passed that year. But specifically Chris. Yeah.
It was it's been a tough couple of years here. I mean, we lost Chester Bennington, we just lost Scott Hutchinson's from Frightened Rabbit last week, and of course Chris Cornell. What's the memory that you replay to remember Chris?
He was a really amazing human being, and we, Seattle's not that big of a town, like you said before. So we it was just, I remember, just hanging out, going out in the woods with like a half rack of beer and a couple of dogs and about 3 or 4 of us cruising through the woods and going down to the beach and just being kind of buffoons, going to each other's shows. He was always consistent to me, like there was always a handful of people in your life that no matter how many years pass or whatever, when you see them, it's the same look in their eyes, and you have that same connection, and it never changed with him. I'll miss that, but I also treasure a lot of times that I had with him, and also his legacy as an artist. It's an amazing body of work, and Soundgarden has always been one of my favorite bands, and I think a very like a flagpole band for the rest of us in the Northwest, because they were around before anybody,
right? Except
for maybe the Stone and Jeff and the Green River days and stuff, but I think they were pretty much the band we all looked up to.
I need to comment on your acting skills, because when Alice in Chains did the Nona tapes, I thought that was one of the most
Nona Weissbaum.
Yeah, one of the most amazing things I've ever seen for a promotional video.
Did you see the last one?
And then I'm going to say, and then
ASC23, Nesta Cleveland over here. Yeah,
incredible. so a band that has such a heavy and dark side to it, how do you find the inspiration to do something that's lighthearted like that?
Because of that.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. You're just we're just people. So there's every dimension. And whatever's heavy in your life has to be counterbalanced with something. So
it's always good to laugh, man.
Yeah.